What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shock of the Nice Jug with our DDL Draft Recap of the season, where we guys are gonna give you a little bit of a recap of what went down throughout the season, what we had and what we didn't have, and stuff like that. If you guys are excited to hear the recap and hear about which ones were the best on the team, which ones were just not up to snuff. Get excited. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Phil Shocker video today because you'll be feeling the king of the crew. And that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this video right now. So let's first talk about the one mom we did make a transaction for, and that was Ash Greninja. At first, I was kind of excited to use Ash Greninja. I've been wanting to try this thing, see if it's been good. And after using it for pretty much halfway through the season, I could see why people say this mon's overrated and how it's kind of trash. And I agree with them. Ash Greninja's really not that fun to use, really, honestly. I'd rather use regular Greninja because that way I'm not too stressed on relying on my item to get my boots. Like, there's either choice Scarf for speed control, there's our choice Specs to try to hit hard, there's Z moves, like, I just didn't feel like Ash Greninja was comfortable, not exactly comfortable to build. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Greninja's just like Ash Greninja, except he gets up. Listen, the difference I see with Ash Greninja versus regular Greninja, Greninja has a little more utility aspect with the spikes and toxic spike stacking, and then the pivoting, and then plus some potential offensive capabilities. Where Ash Greninja, you're literally just using a regular Greninja at that point. You're not getting Ash Greninja. Like, if leagues let you immediately start out in Ash Greninja form, I think Ash Greninja can be busted broken. But it's only busted broken when used correctly, and can be only busted broken when you get the right kill. And that's just how it was. And I felt like this thing, excuse me, was forced into Scarf almost every week I had it. So I didn't feel confident with this Pokemon. And I'm going to be on the bandwagon of people saying this mon's not that good. I mean, it's probably good in the right hands, which definitely aren't mine, but I don't think it's all that good. So, with that being said, let's get into the season recap. Kicking off our bottom list, we have our two mons that we only brought once, literally. That was Glaceon and Meowstic. I unfortunately gave Glaceon the bottom of the barrel because it just did not get a kill. It did use a lot of chip down damage, which was really nice, but unfortunately that was the way it was. I gave Meowstic the not last place because even though I only came to our one game, which was our final game of the season, it at least put up some decent fight with Psychic and screens up and stuff. You know, it did good. It did good at least. You know, and that's all I can ask for that thing. You know, that's all you can ask for. G-Weezing just barely takes out of the place just because we did bring it a good couple of times. I think I come to realize I just don't like G-Weezing. I don't know if it's I don't like G-Weezing or I just can't use G-Weezing effectively. I do think there's some people that know how to really use G-Weezing in a good standard play format and all that. I think I'm just going to take a break from Weezing just because I just can't use Weezing. I just don't know how to use Weezing effectively. And maybe I'll come back to Weezing at some point, but for right now I think this is the last chapter of my Doug Dimdome, home of the Dimsdale Dimdome. Say goodbye to the good old Top Hat Dimdome. I actually have Rotomo. Rotomo kind of put in a little bit of good work for us this season, but I gave him the not MVP of the 5-team on below because he did miss two crucial Leaf Storms that could have actually changed the format of the game. He missed, or it was just one. He might have missed two. I don't remember. But he definitely missed one that I remember. Plus, we didn't get to use Rotomo all that well. I think like there was just some matches where Rotomo just didn't fit well for the team, but all in all, it was alright. Mega Latias. I think there's some untapped potential here I have with Latias. Like, we only got to show off its true power in a few weeks. We could have gotten a sweep going with our Subcom mindset in week 1. Yawn. Ugh. It just annoyed me, but overall, Latias was fun. Latias was very interesting, different from Mega Latios from using it from having going physical to special and all of that. I definitely am open to try Megaladios actually again, just like I'm open to try Megaladios in the future. Just because they're very unique in some form. Like they're fun in one way and they can be annoying in the other way. They're annoying to battle, they're fun to use. And I think I have some ways to still use Megaladios in a way. But for right now, I think Megaladios, we're going to close the door. I don't think there's going to be another opportunity you can get Megaladios potentially, but the door opened itself to let me try getting one of the Megaladies. I definitely will think about my options and get one of them and retry them because I think they're actually pretty fun to use after all this stuff has been said. So, and also, I will not lie to you guys, I was a little distracted because I was on my phone answering a text message, so I do apologize. But let's get into the MVPs of the team, and honestly, there's probably some debate on whether Infernape should be on the top 6 over Latias. The only reason is I think just by maybe one game or so, we brought Infernape more than we brought Latias, because Infernape's versatility would have been better. Maybe we could have had dropped Latias potentially and put in Infernape for that game. Who knows? But Infernape's a good Pokemon. I don't think we had the best luck with Infernape this season. I know how to use Infernape. I know how to make Infernape pop off. Excuse me. The problem was this. I think we just did not figure out how to get Infernape rolling in certain situations. Like in that last week, if I had just kept Swords Dance, dude, if I just kept Swords Dance, I could have probably had prepped, pressured him to put Earthquake on me. I could have also had been Shookaberry then. I could have lived the hits and stuff like that. But who knows? Oh, excuse me. So I'm a little mad at myself for that. I had to blame myself for that right there, and I'm gonna own up to that. Which you gotta just make mistakes in prep. Like that prep probably cost us our win in that match against Rose. So it's unfortunate, but also that's a bit of a spoiler. But you obviously will see the battle before you see this. So, anyways. Our free agent pickup, the only one we made was just regular T-Tar. And even though, yes, T-Tar came to 2 games, and T-Tar did get 2 kills, and only 2 kills and 2 deaths. Honestly, T-Tar could have popped off against Malice if he didn't have Scarf Ments. And if it wasn't for Scarf Ments, we would have won. We could have also sped crept this to be faster than his base 100s, and it actually could have theoretically been possible, I believe. Problem was I didn't go with my gut. Anyways, T-Tar. I honestly looked at building. T-Tar just looked so good on paper. I knew how to build T-Tar. I knew how to use T-Tar. Like, I'm getting more and more open to wanting to use this thing in Draft League, just because I think it's actually kind of fun to use. I don't think it needs a sand aspect to be fun. Like, I think by itself it was actually generally fun to use, and I would definitely be open to using it again in Draft League, man. This is only the second time I've ever used T-Tar. One I picked up midway for the season, and then this time I picked up here. And honestly, I like using T-Tar. T-Tar is just fun. T-Tar is really interesting, and I definitely am possibly open to looking at maybe being my next sand setter if I ever draft my glorious sand team. Okay, we'll stop. Corviknight comes up next. Corviknight didn't really get to do a lot. It definitely was bulk that we needed and annoyance that we wanted. Overall, and Corviknight was amazing. I want to use this thing again so badly. There could have been some other times we could have used Corviknight a little bit better. We know how to use weakness policy sets really good with Corviknight, I think. As we've shown in one game, to just get unfortunate on the damage rolls and stuff like that. But overall, Corviknight's awesome. I love Corviknight. It's super fun, super unique. It's funny if I had Power Trip, that would have been more funnier. That one game. But Corviknight, I love. It was really great. Getting back to Runerigas after kind of not taking a break from it for a long period of time. Loved it. Loved this Pokemon. This thing is a reason why I love using the ghost mummies. Cofagrigus and this thing I can use effectively well. And offense, not much so for defense, but offensively I know how to use them really well. They're so good Pokemon, man. I love Runerigas. Runerigas, I think I like a little more than regular Cofagrigus, just because Runerigas being able to have that physical ghost stab and poltergeist is super clutch. And plus, getting to know that item is really great. Also, getting to know Mon that gets Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes is super clutch for any team out there. I really think Runerigus was super regret. I definitely am going to look into the future of getting this Pokemon once again because I love this Mon this season. I definitely think I built it perfectly throughout the whole time using it, and I'm just super happy with it. Porygon 2, the first chance I actually got to use Porygon 2, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, I loved it. It was fun. Yeah, Porygon 2, it's meant to just not be good. But honestly, just like how 6-Foot Hex, aka Bad Luck Leo, um, that's what he likes to go by. When he used Porygon 2, he said he just enjoyed using it and having fun with it. That's how I felt with Porygon 2. Porygon 2 lived hits that were really great. Porygon 2 chipped down things. It almost beat a Victini, for God's sake. Like, this thing was so good. It beat... Well, it would have beaten Keldeo if it didn't have Skull, but it would have beaten a Keldeo! This thing is so fun. I enjoyed using it. It's so unique, so different from what I usually grab, and this thing's just fun. I'm so open to having this thing again in the future in leagues just because this thing is so great. I love it, and who knows? Maybe I'll be drafting it soon again sometime. Who knows? But definitely in the future, Porygon 2, definitely want to use this as my normal. It's just super fun. Even without Eviolite, it's going to be super cool regardless, and I just have fun using Porygon. And believe it or not, the MVP of the team, and I think I actually got the most kills this season, was Milotic. I would have got one more if Rose didn't crit me. But regardless, Milotic, incredible, incredible Pokemon. This is going to probably go in my top 5 bulky waters that I always want to draft. I think I just know the secret to using Milotic effectively well. Like, I think we brought the right set every single week. Maybe we could have made one move change on it or not, but regardless, we essentially brought the perfect set each week for Milotic. Yes, some of the shenanigans were Toxic Stall, and I hate playing that way. It's a dirty play style. Do not approve of it. Anyways, I just had so much fun with Milotic. And you gotta think about it. It's more funny when a Milotic that's probably your kill leader when you have things like Infernape, a Tyranitar, a Corviknight, a Megaladios, this and that. Like, why is this your kill leader? But I had so much fun with Milotic. Milotic was just the blast to use, and I definitely am going to be using this thing more and more as the time goes by. But yeah, that is going to be it for the draft recap. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Full Shock Crew today because you'll be filling with the King of the Crew. And I'll see you guys in the next draft league that we do. And I cannot wait to see you all again. Till next time, guys. Peace.